Good afternoon and welcome to this conversation on NFV and the ecosystem around it. Today, I'm talking to Masashi Usami, Dr. Masashi Usami, who is the Executive Director at KDDI. And we'll talk about the experience and the path to NFV from the mobile operator perspective. Dr. Masashi, thank you so much for taking the time to talking to us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks so much. So maybe to get started, can you give us an introduction about KDDI's approach to NFV?
Okay. So now that mobile traffic is increasing very, very steadily, rapidly, and the pattern of mobile traffic is versatile. That means the M2M traffic is starting in Japan, especially in the smart meter and automobile. So in that very complicated traffic circumstances, we need some function for the core networks. So NFV is one big important tool for to adapting that versatile traffic. So the agility of that adapting service is very important feature of NFV. So we think. So at first we think about that. APC core virtualization, we are very expecting that technology. So that's the basic strategy of our KDDI strategy for NFV.
So EPC is your first target, and I guess it's a long process. But so EPC first. What is next?
EPC first, but the EPC itself is very long way to, So the first, we are just doing a POC for the many proposal for the vendors. And maybe next step is some small scale trial. And the next step is some small scale of commercialization. So maybe it is still a long way to the final stage.
So is the POC going to focus on some specific functions? I would imagine. Is that?
Yeah, right now we are very focusing on POC for the MME and P gateway, S gateway. There's some specific functions POC. Yeah, at first. At this moment,
As you talk to the vendor community, do you feel that finally we have a situation where there are NFV solutions that are mature?
Right now, we are just testing and what's going on in the specific function. So right now, we don't see the maturity of that functionality. But the first thing is that the performance of each function still very not high for the commercialization. But I think this kind of performance issue will be resolved maybe in a year or
Yeah. So is there some function that you see that it's the level of maturity is higher for some specific function?
We don't see we don't check so specific right now. So we cannot answer that question.
Sure. Now, you mentioned that virtualization for you, it's important to introduce new services and You mentioned also machine-to-machine services. What is the role? Why is it? How is it that virtualization will enable you to offer these new services? Can't you do it already today? What is that virtualization will make possible that is not possible today?
Excuse me. Could you ask again?
What I was asking is, is there some new service that virtualization will make possible that you cannot roll out today, or that it's too difficult to roll out today?
Yeah. So right now, the smartphone traffic is increasing. That smartphone traffic consumes many signaling resources, and new service, M2M service, is consuming more and more signaling resources rather than data. So the signaling resources too full. So that small virtualization core network can process that signaling many. So that the different traffic pattern can, of course, process in our EPC source, but more effectively, that kind of virtualization will help us.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, you want to virtualize the MME is one of your first targets. So it's going to be your initial focus will be on the signaling or on the control plane. Is that right?
Yeah, of course, signaling plus data, of course, but more signaling focused process for the M2M service.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about how is the move to NFV? It's a big change for an operator, and it's going to change the way you do things internally. How do you see this change going? What's going to change at KDDI as you move to a virtualized network?
Okay. In KDDI, there are many people to doubt about the virtualization still now, but I'm in charge of the future technology strategy. So what I said is that not the KDDI's total, how do I say, view, but there are many people to doubt about that NFV. But anyway, all the people in KDDI were very conscious about how to process the various traffic in the future. So right now, we show that the evidence of that efficiency of the traffic processing by using the NFV. And also right now, we just tested that proof of concept of each functionality. So still, we cannot see that the total evidence of that NFV. That's our situation. Is that the answer?
Yeah. Well, and I guess that it's a deep change. So you want to make sure
very big change.
You evaluate performance as you move along. Now, and one thing is actually how to test. How to test the network, because as you do the proof of concept and then in commercial deployments, the way you test and monitor a virtualized network, it's very different from a non-virtualized one. So how is that going to change?
Yeah, it's a very difficult question. how to test in end-to-end. And before that, we are discussing what the total reliability of the network, the comparison between the existing network and NFV. NFV reliability, something. Okay, so NFV has the new functionality of the virtualization. So virtualization part is we cannot see the actual reliability in end-to-end, but virtualization give us a new reliability. It's a high-level expression. Yeah. So right now we are studying about what's the reliability of the NFV, what's the operation for the NFV. So right now we cannot answer that how to test and monitoring in total in NFV network.
Right, but it's I guess it's an interesting question. I don't think that anybody really has an answer yet, but it will be interesting to see how it developed. Another change that virtualization brings is that there is an increased focus on open source software, and mobile operators traditionally have used more proprietary solutions.
Yeah.
So with virtualization, it's open source software, off-the-shelf hardware. It's very different. So are you comfortable using open source software?
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, it's also very a difficult question. That right now the performance based on open source the software is not high, but the revolution speed is very, very high for the open source community and technology. So we are expecting that in the near future, the open source based software is maybe comfortable for us, but still now very difficult. Yeah, but I think so.
Yeah.
Right now it's very difficult.
And I guess that there is here there has to be a commitment from the vendors and other operators as well. And so, are you working with other operators as well to basically learn together with them or develop together the requirements that you have for virtualized networks?
Are you asking about some collaboration between operators?
Yeah, are you working with other operators to, to progress on the NFV front?
Yeah, our team is adding to that NFV standardization work and 3GPP standardization. In that sense, we are discussing about the many issues between the operators.
Yeah. Now, the other question is on the vendor side. Once you have in a virtualized network, do you think that the relationship with vendors will change? Will you have more vendors or different vendors?
Yeah, ideally that NFV can give us the multi-vendor platform and multi-vendor software, but in reality, I think it is very difficult to use that multi-vendor. So maybe the early stage of NFV is, I think it's not so. Maybe we should focus on that some 1 or 2, 3 vendors. Yeah, we think so because of that the difficulty of the operation management systems to control that all multi-vendor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
So now we talked mostly about functions in the core network. Now, what about virtualization in the RAN? So, for instance, Cloud RAN. Is that something that is important for you?
Yeah, we are very, very interested in the cloud LAN and cloud CPE. And yeah, of course, that cloud base station. So in the future, so end-to-end, all cloud network can be realized. But our resource is very, very limited. So right now we focus on the first step.
Yeah. So the first step is functions in the core eventually.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Now, in terms of cost savings, what are, and I'm not asking the numbers, but where are the cost savings coming from as you virtualize your network?
Yeah, we are also expecting that CapEx and OpEx reducing, but we are studying about the last 1 year. We feel that CapEx for NFV is not so, it can give us drastic cost saving. But so we right now focus on that reliability and operation system for NFV. If many issues can resolve, that the operation cost should be reducing, we're expecting.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of more in the long term rather than, and I guess that for you it seems like it's the function of virtualizations that it's more important than the cost savings per se. Is that so? Is it cost savings that is the major motivator, or the agility?
Agility is more important for us.
Yeah. Okay, and
of course that we love for cost saving. But
you will never say no to cost saving. Absolutely. Now, one thing that it's becoming also a key step is to have the orchestration bit in the network, but it seems like that is going to be more part of the long-term strategy. What is your view of how important is the orchestrator part? Is it necessary long-term? What do you think?
Orchestrator part is very, very important to coexisting the existing network and the new NFV network. And in long term, very, very important. And as well as the migration, maybe a story. And still, we are thinking about that. First, we should show some evidence for the efficiency of the NFV for the small scale. In that sense, the very, very small scale management system orchestration is maybe we can use that as is the vendors.
Yeah.
A long time for the operators, the orchestration and the all management system is very important.
Yeah.
Is that answer?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's I think it's going to be fascinating. So just in closing, maybe you can tell us what you expect to see over the next 5 years, either at KDDI or in the industry overall, in terms of virtualization.
In 5 years?
Or 10 years if you get that far.
Okay. 2020 in Japan, we have Olympic Games in Tokyo. So right now, Japan's society is very, very focusing on the new ICT world. So in that situation, very, very heavily traffic area and very, of okay, versatile. How do I say? So many traffics and high traffic, low traffic. So many traffics cannot support the one core network. So the NFV functionality is very big role in that world. We think in maybe, but in 5 years, I'm not sure that. So we can only see that first end-to-end network, and second is that many MVNO or how do I say, the private companies. Yeah. So the MVNO and company-specific network, that kind of service can be supported by NFV, we think.
Yeah. So you'd be able to offer more services, more players, and all of this is necessary to support higher levels of traffic.
Mm-hmm. That's the based on the agility of that agility of service based on that NFV.
So by agility here, you mean that you're able to introduce new services more quickly? And,
Yes.
Okay, well, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and I would like to remind our listeners that this is part of a report on NFV, that it's available on our website at www.sensafiliconsulting.com. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.